I mean, I'm just trying to contrast it over the years. The reason I was asking you that is that now, because the rules are, I guess, stricter of what you can say, what you can't say, unlike in the past, so the players are more controlled, I guess, by the BCCI.
It is true, but now that the tournament is over, so those rules, those rules are there while the tournament is on, they cannot be speaking. But now that the tournament is done and now that they've arrived here, those rules still exist while you're part of the setup. So now that they're on Indian soil, it's much easier for them to...
What was Rahul Dravid's mood like?
Rahul Dravid is the happiest that I've seen. You know, I mean, having covered him for the longest time, he does not really react to situations. The only time I remember, the two extreme moments that I remember from him, and I was lucky enough to be here in Barbados to see this, a smiling Rahul Dravid, it took me back to 2007 when I was there in the Caribbean, where I actually saw him in tears. 2007, knocked out in round 1. I remember that press conference he does in Port of Spain. India are knocked out and he was in tears. He could not hold back his emotions. Personally, to see that journey for a cricketer who gave it his all, playing for India, whether it was at the test level or ODI level, to see him, I caught him having an ice cream, that's rare too, celebrating India's win at the team hotel, and chatted with him for a bit. And he said that, he said, you know, as a cricketer I gave my best, never had a chance to hold the World Cup trophy. I just want to thank these guys for allowing me to be a part of them. One thing which is not really spoken about, which he did tell me while I was having a conversation, his contract was done after that 2023 World Cup. That 6-month extension happened. We did not know how it happened. But what he told me was very interesting. It was actually a call by Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma is the one who called him up and said that, you know, give it another shot. Just be with us for these 6 months. Let's see how we go at the T20 World Cup. And after that, you let go. Because he wanted to spend some time at home. He's looking at his son who's now playing age group cricket. And so that 6 month probably is given Rahul Dravid the memories that he so desired in that 20 years career span that he had.
In fact, even after that, Rohit did come out, and I remember in one of the press conferences during the course of the World Cup, he said that I in fact rang him up and asked him to stay beyond as well, but he's not going to be changing his mind now.
He went on to say that I'm unemployed right now, open to job offers, but not in coaching the Indian team because he doesn't want to travel much. So.
Amazing. But
maybe we can have him here as an analyst.
He'll probably get back to being the most gentlemanly Indira Nagar ka gunda.
No, there are lots of advertisements, I'm sure, because, you know, you want someone who's an iconic figure.
And he's essentially a poster boy for Karnataka also very often. So
that's right.
That works in his favor.
He could be a good motivational speaker.
Absolutely.
If you heard that line from him where he said, there's a campaign saying, do it for Dravid.
Oh,
he said, I don't want that. He said, just get rid of that campaign. Why? He said, because he quoted a mountaineer. He said, that mountaineer was asked, why do you want to climb Mount Everest? For whom do you want to climb? He said, I want to climb Mount Everest because it's there.
That's
so we want to win this World Cup.
That was Hillary's famous quote of Edmund Hillary.
So he says, I want to win the World Cup, and we want to win the World Cup. This is before the final. He said, we want to win the World Cup because it's there. Sure. I don't want to win it for anybody else.
Akshita, who's your favourite?
Oh, I wouldn't really take favourites right now, but I think Hardik Pandya's story has been something I'm really amazed by. And there are pictures, I don't know if it's on our screens, if we can put that out as well, of Hardik brandishing the cup, the trophy, as he came out of the airport. So all of them made their way out. Thousands of fans waiting in Marine Drive, but even at the airport, there are a handful of them hoping to catch a glimpse of these heroes as they came out. And Hardik, of course, got them to get a glimpse of the cup by lifting it high up in the air. With a fist pump, he's made his way out. So I think energy is high for Hardik. He knows, of course, that this moment is something that he's been waiting for. And like you said, Rajdeep, a lot of ups and downs in cricket. He's seen all of it in the last few months. And those images on our screens, I wonder if we have a reporter live with us. We'll cut across to them as well to get you a ground report, because you can see that the bus is moving now closer towards Marine Drive, and that's where they'll be on that open bus ride. It's supposed to be just about 1 kilometer, but I suspect, looking at the crowds, Rajdeep, it's going to take at least an hour or two for them to make their way through that entire stretch.
No, I think what they will do is they'll have to first come from the airport to Marine Drive, which will take an hour at least.
There you have the cup being shown right in front of the bus.
Unless the roads have been fully cleared, that will probably take an hour for them. Probably the roads will be cleared for them, so it should take 45 minutes to an hour. So you're looking at 7:15, and then hopefully you'll have the actual parade shouldn't take very long. It's a very short distance. It's about an hour and a half. So I presume 1.5 kilometers. So that should take 30-40 minutes. So you're looking at them reaching the parade.
Fans permitting.
No, I think even with fans permitting, Mumbai police won't allow it to get out of control.
That's the picture of the day there for you.
Yeah,
so it's because he realizes he's won the fans back.
In Mumbai.
In Mumbai. Where he was trolled the match, he's walked out right there for the first glimpse for everyone to see with the cup high up. And I think the team would have handed it over to him saying, look, this is your moment of glory. That picture
it's
right
not
there.
just that. I feel, this is it's a moment of transferring of the baton as well. Because let's not forget the time that the two stalwarts in Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma weren't playing T20 cricket for the last 1 year. From the time that you had that debacle against England in 2022 Adelaide, the next 1 year, it was Hardik Pandya who was captaining the Indian side. And this possibly wasn't just the World Cup trophy in his hand, but in many ways, the baton being transferred to him too, and he realizes that.
Absolutely. Cricket is, actually in many ways, a baton relay. If you think about 71, 83, 2007, in between 85, 2011 and now 2024, each generation passes the baton on to the next. And that's what makes it fascinating. I keep saying that I was there. Nikhil knows this. Nikhil did a book on 83 and I keep saying I was there. June 25th, 1983. To think as an 18-year-old, you're at a ground where India wins the World Cup for the first time. Unexpected, the complete underdog story. I don't think there's a better story than that. I think all these stories still pale in some, I wouldn't say insignificance, but pale compared to that. This was a great victory because of the circumstances. You look like you're losing, you come back from the dead. But that was when we were no hopers. And so I think that made it all the more special. So we all had this one moment. I think I was very, one of my unfortunate cricket memories, I wasn't there at the Wankhede when Dhoni hit his six. And there are these friends of mine who were have never let me forget that. I was in a TV studio, covering the match, and I hated it. Because, you wanted to be on the ground watching Dhoni.
So you want to add?
I was there.
I was there. But you were not there, you said, when Dhoni actually hit the six, you rushed out.
Yes. Because the television show had to be done. So I didn't see the six.
Yeah.
So I left just before that.
So I think Dhoni's six, Kapil Dev's catch, in this match probably Surya Kumar Yadav's catch, in that 2007 strangely Srishant's catch, which won us the game. All of these will be sort of memories for each generation. Akshita is the 2024 generation, Nikhil is the 2007 generation, Harshit is the 2024 generation, I'm 1983 and 71.
Okay,
I was six.
Since you do claim yourself to be the 1983 generation, we know that you're a man for nostalgia. I was listening to your chat with the Pooja earlier in the day. There's a lot of chatter about that catch in 1983, the iconic catch, and now the Surya Kumar Yadav catch. What side of the debate are you on? Which one do you think is really the better one?
These are tough ones to answer, but I think, look, Surya Kumar's catch is out of the world. It's tough given what you need to do at that moment, the presence of mind, the boundaries there, the stage of the match, last over. If it was a 6-10 runs to get in 5 balls, anything could have happened. Kapil Dev catching Viv Richards. I saw Madan Lal somewhere around in the studio. Every time I see Madan Lal, I think of that. He was the bowler. And again, a bit like Hardik Pandya, Madan Lal used to come to Mumbai and we used to troll him. Troll meaning in those days you booed someone. Mumbai used to play Delhi and there were these matches that would be played. Madan Lal would be among those who would always be trolled.
But he was your favorite batter, I remember.
Sorry?
He was your favorite player.
Who?
Madan Lal.
Not
as a batter, would
well,
come down.
There was something about Madan Lal that there was all of us want to in some way embrace a cricketer who we think perhaps is someone we can be like. Yeah. He's not some legend out there. You can't be Sachin Tendulkar. He's just in a league, a universe of his own. Madan Paji is not. I'll give you my all-time classic story. Balwinder Singh Sandhu comes at the World Cup, takes Greenwich's wicket, which sort of changes that match also. 2 weeks later, after the World Cup, plays against us in a league match in Mumbai. I hit him for 6. Till today, whenever I speak to him, I don't forget to remind him of that. Because I thought, there is this guy who's just taken Greenwich, won a World Cup, club match with only 6 mara. I would think of that when I talked about a Virat or a Sachin. These are once in a life.
Or a Jasprit Bumrah. Try hitting him for a 6.
Or a Jasprit Bumrah. I mean, the guy is just out of this world. What he did in those 2 overs is just... If there is one cricketer, Nikhil, if you would allow me to interview, I'd like to interview Jasprit. You're happy to...
But he's a man of few words.
Even if he's a man of few words,
I tried to get a few words out of him in a casual conversation here. I went about how good he was and how amazing. All he had to say was just thank you.
I think he
would not
reserves
say
all his
anything.
words for his wife.
Ah.
Interviews with his wife.
Yeah,
which
Or
I
his
think
kid,
is perfect,
maybe.
which is beautiful
Or his
to
kid,
see.
maybe.
Those are memories, I think, that I always take away from cricket matches. You know, the post-match, the pre-match moment, it all comes together perfectly. So that's something I think that you should watch out for. Why not Virat Kohli? There are pictures of him also in that bus. This is such an emotional moment for him.
Yeah,
this is such a huge moment for him.
Yeah, this is probably the last time that we'd see him in certainly in this kind of avatar. He could well play the next 50-over World Cup as well. What, 27 is the next 50 overs?
But to hold that trophy
we don't
for
know,
him
but we don't know whether he'll be around then.
Virat Kohli,
Huh?
You should be.
2027?
I think
50 overs World Cup?
100%. He's fit enough, and also if
He
there
wants
was
it.
if there was a format where you could still argue about his place in the side, would have been T20. In ODI cricket, he's head and shoulders
Rohit
above
Sharma
everyone.
will still be there 27, you think?
He said it.
He wants to
said
be.
it in as many words. He said it before this World Cup. He said, I'm playing the 2027.
So Rohit Sharma is going to play 27. So is Virat. Ravi Jadeja also likely.
Yes.
So they'll be hoping for a
But there are
repeat of
lots of
this.
great young guys coming through. The good news is, as I said, baton relay, I always believe you should retire when people say why and why not. I must confess, I actually thought 6 months ago Virat shouldn't be in the T20 side. And, he's...
You changed your mind now?
Not really. I mean, I know he
But
got a
look at
great...
how he played in the finals.
I know he played very well in the finals, but I think there were people who could have been around. I'm a great fan of Shubman Gill and his batting skills. I think he deserved to be in some way. But look, Virat is a legend of the game. And I think when you're a legend, then you deserve your moment in the sun.
But credit to Virat Kohli to have tried to change his game
That's true.
for the sake of the team. He could have very
That's
well
why I
played
thought he wouldn't do it. You see, my worry was he
but he did.
My worry was he would do to the Indian team what he at times did to RCB.
Correct.
That he
but
played...
you started getting these signs in the IPL itself is what affected.
but
You look at his strike
but
rate,
Harshit,
this year is better than his previous
Sure,
years.
but Harshit, I think we need to give credit here to Dravid. I get a sense that Dravid and Rohit Sharma created a role for each player. And they all bought into it, including Virat.
The bus, I think, is getting closer to Marine Drive. You can see the fans, all of them chasing behind the bus.
We are a very, very wide, long city. We go from one end to the other, from north
But
to south.
across then there are fans who've gathered, which is amazing to see.
And the good news is the rain has stayed away, Akshita. This is
I
peak
think
monsoon.
it could come down anytime, Rajdeep, because
it?
between 3 to 5 it was raining non-stop. It didn't stop fans, though all of them were soaked, drenched, still standing put.
And you
they
still
knew
want to
full
live in
well.
Delhi?
No, I preferred Mumbai, I must say.
Come
Mumbai is a
on, Akshita.
beautiful city.
Nikhil, where do you want to live? Nikhil wants to live in the hills.
Yes.
Harshit, where do you want to
No,
live?
if it,
I'm a Delhi boy, and I don't want to be moving away from Delhi.
Okay, good. Okay.
He's a Delhi Capitals fan. That says a lot.
my
It's
mother
not an easy
lives on
task
this
to do.
road. My mother lives on Marine
She's not
Drive.
going to have to
and
step
she
out
sent
today.
me messages, can you tell the cricketers to end this by 7 so I can go for my walk?
What she can do is
Not going
take
to
the
happen. Rajdeep,
she
you
has
can
a
tell her
group
right away.
of 5 or 6 people between the age of 75 and 85. They go for a walk around Marine Drive around this time. So,
Perhaps the post-dinner
But
walk's also in
I
danger.
said, please give at least today to the cricketers.
And
Let
she
the
can send us
cricketers.
some exclusive visuals.
Yeah, she could actually because she's
film it for us
bang
and-
there. She just has to go up on her terrace and she can.
No, but what to you, Rajdeep, explains this euphoria? In 2007, it was after, of course, so many years that you get it. Now, after 2007, now in 2024, why do you think there's still so much hysteria, so much euphoria over this win that's led to people, many of them who are speaking to reporters are saying, we took half day, we bunked office, we're there.
Because Akshita, it's happened after 17 years again, right? Or 13 years, 2011.
Yeah, but 17,
Yeah, 2007 to 24, but 11 to 24, 13 years. 13 years is a long time, right? How old were you when you were 13 years ago?
13 years ago, I'll have to do the math.
You never asked
I
a
shouldn't have
lady
asked.
her age
No,
on
I
live
don't
TV.
know. Okay, I was about 17, I think.
There was a googly. There was a
Is
googly.
that-
If my
you see-
math is right, 17.
So, there's an entire generation which has grown up on this T20 diet. And remember, this is the first World Cup win, correct me if I'm wrong, in a World T20 since, of course, the IPL started.
That's right.
So you think of 16 years of the IPL, India had never won the World T20. We're the best team in the world all round. So I think it's a moment for all of us to celebrate, I think not just this win, but all that cricket has given us over the last, 15, 20 years.
No,
and people are crazy about cricket. I think the likes of Nikhil, Harshit on TV, on OTT, on digital have just made this sport so accessible to so many people. For us in those days, cricket was not accessible. That it was the charm of the sport, but it also meant that we didn't have, we didn't have this accessibility to a Virat Kohli that today I can see him in my room every day on a screen before me. It makes the relationship such that I want to go today and just say thank you to Virat, to Rohit, to these wonderful players who played for India.
I think it's more than just, it's not just die-hard cricket fans out there is my suspicion, because for someone like me, I didn't watch the entire World Cup, but the final is something everyone tuned into, including me. Whether you were a big cricket fan or not, this was a moment of reckoning. It was, history in the making. So I think those are people there, not necessarily die-hard cricket fans, but also people who witnessed the final and want to celebrate with the team, which is what we're seeing right now.
And this is a must, because, we spoke about passing the baton. Why is this victory very important? It's something that you were talking to Rajdeep. My co-passenger in the flight was a former India cricketer in Ambati Raidu, comes from Hyderabad. So I had enough time to chat with him. And a very interesting thing he told me while we were, chatting in the flight. He says, this win is very important for Indian cricket because we were still living off that 2007 World Cup triumph. I mean, 2011, you were playing at home. It was a 50-over format, which you're very good at. In T20 format, there was this impression that everyone had that, the world had moved on and India were behind the curve in T20 cricket. So for India to win this World Cup was very essential. And the other thing he said, you needed heroes. He said, MS Dhoni was your hero in 2007. Yuvraj Singh was your hero in 2007. They've stopped playing international cricket. You needed this generation to win a big title. And for that continuity of young kids taking on cricket, this win was very essential. And the other thing he told me, which I found very interesting, he said, now that they won this, you take it from me in writing, they're going to win on the trot a few more big tournaments, because this was that final hurdle they weren't being able to cross. We have a Champions Trophy coming up, a 50-over mini World Cup as they call it. He said India would be favourite to do that. WTC, the World Test Championship, they played 2 finals but missed on. He said this team now will be a different beast when they play a WTC.
I'm just trying to draw a pattern here, Nikhil, if that's anything to go by. It started with the World T20, you won the World Cup after that, then came the Champions Trophy. However, if you try drawing a pattern there, the Champions Trophy is just coming first and then the World Cup in 27.
WTC, add that.
Okay. Yes.
That is something you can go for, Rajdeep, at Lord's, like you went for the previous WTC final.
It's on my calendar of things to do. I want to even go to Australia actually to see a Boxing Day test. I've never seen a Boxing Day test. It's coming up this year. Yeah. And that could well decide whether we go to the finals of WTC as well. I mean, we've got to do well in Australia. The Australians will also be looking to sort of get back after what went wrong for them in the T20 World Cup, but it's good. Australia had already won 2 titles, T20 and 50 over and Test cricket. You needed someone else to win. I've got to go, but I have a Dharam Sankat that you have to sort for me. I have a show at 9 o'clock tonight. I was doing it on Agniveer and the controversy over that. Will this stretch into that? And if it's stretched into that, as a long-time TV man, what would you suggest I do?
My suggestion is that I think you will just about have your show start at the time that this would finish. And the other thing is, you could very well use our cricket analyst in Mr. Gavaskar, who will be joining us live at 8 p.m.
Okay.
Maybe he'll be kind enough to stretch it till 9 p.m. and then you can have him at the top of the hour.
The good news, since you mentioned Gavaskar, is the continuity there again. 1971, I was a 6-year-old. Because my dad was part of the team, I was also allowed to be on the car. Right? I have a photograph somewhere. I have a photograph of my dad. I'm not sure I have a photograph of me somewhere. My mum must have it. But Mr. Gavaskar was there. Yes. That was his first big tour. He came into Indian cricket that year. And he's still around. So, if there's one connection really between the first, there are 2 connections between the first roadshow and now, me and Gavaskar.
So that's why.
Think about that. Yes. Completely a 6-year-old and Gavaskar was 21 at the time.
Yes.
And he's now 75 this year. In fact, in a few days' time, he's going to be 75 in 10th of July. 10th of July. Yeah. So he turns 75 and I'm still 21.